Hi, so I'm not a mom. But in 1975, I was born in Vietnam. There's the fall of Saigon, and I was an Amerasian baby, which means I was half American, half Vietnamese. And a couple years after that, Lyndon Baines Johnson adopted this act where he had an airlift of all the Amerasian children that were in Vietnam, because the Vietnamese people were very homogeneous then. They were like 98.9% homogeneous. And since you're a product of the war, they didn't really want you around. So Lyndon Baines had everyone airlifted to America. And I was one of those children. I think I was 5. I had tuberculosis, and it was a pretty sad situation. But I was adopted by these Pennsylvania Dutch folks, and I've been spoiled rotten ever since, to this day. So when I got back, through my life into my 30s, it was kind of a confusing situation. Who am I? You know, these questions that young people have, but I had them a little worse. You know, my poetry was a little darker than most. And, I listened to a lot of British bands whose albums were just dark albums. And so I went to Vietnam to see what I could find. I looked for my mom. Then I decided, I'm going to have a lot more fun if I just decide that I already have a mom in Pennsylvania Dutch land. So I came back to America and reunited with my parents. And my dad said, yeah, we have an email from the Pearl S. Buck Foundation. And this email says that there's a reunion of all the Amerasian children in Bucks County, the Pearl S. Buck House. So I said, well, Dad, we should go. And he's like, yeah, well, let's go as the family. You, Mom, me. I have a sister, but she lives abroad. So we get in the car. I get in the back of the car like I'm a little kid. They're playing Anne Murray songs in Country Road. And I say, Dad, Mom, I gotta just get something off my chest. There's gonna be a lot of successful adopted people there. You know how Asians are. There's gonna be some engineers, some internet moguls, probably a neurosurgeon. Some of them probably can play Paganini. And I'm just like a writer, a painter, just living my life. And they're like, my mom turns around and is like, we're gonna love you no matter what those people do or are. And I was like, okay, Mom, just wait till we get down there and see what happens. Moms are always like full, but they want you to make it. So we get down there, and there's a stage, and people are, I was like, oh my goodness, there's gonna be presentations. So I'm looking over the crowd, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is fascinating. And I kind of decided that just by looking at the people, there were 2 sets of people here that adopted people in the 70s. And one set was like the ultra-liberal parent who adopted like 7 kids from around the world. And they all had, they all raised them. And then there were my parents who were like conservative Pennsylvania Dutch people who adopted because that was the right thing to do. And so people start getting on stage, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be terrible. This first one's going to be, he's going to gene vectorize lambs and make people out of them. So this lady starts talking, and she's like, we adopted Johnny in 1974. That's his name now. His name was Trin, and he really didn't do that well in school. And he couldn't be here because he committed a triple murder the other day, and he's not with us. And I was sitting in my seat, and I was like looking at my dad. I was like, yes. I was like, Dad's paying for dinner tonight. And so the next person came up, and she was like, well, Maria, we changed her name from Maria, and she couldn't be here because she robbed some Circle K's down south. And I was like, my goodness, I lit matches in the alleyway, and that's about, And so anyway, So on our drive home, I was sitting there and we're driving back and my parents are, I was like, this is great. Thank you for being the parents that waterboarded me when I didn't do my homework. Thank you for being there. And I love my parents. All right, thanks.